Hello everyone, in this video we'll create an integration that will be used to create the AP invoices through REST API. We'll first fetch the invoice data from the ATP, then we'll create the invoice using the REST API, and after that we'll update the each invoice status in the ATP table. Now for this integration we need two connections which are REST and ATP. So first we'll create the REST connection that will be used for the REST API. So in the connections page, I'll click on create and search for REST. I'll choose the REST adapter and provide the name as REST 001. The role will be invoke. Now click on create. Here the connection type will be REST API base URL. Then for the connection URL, we have to provide the fusion URL. I have provided the URL. I'll go down. Then we have to provide one ERP username with password. After providing the username password, I'll test the connection. Connection tested successfully. I'll save it. Now I'll create the ATP connection. So for that, I'll click on create and search for ATP. I'll choose Oracle ATP adapter. I'll put the name as ATP001 and choose the role as invoke. Now create the connection. Here under the optional properties, we have to provide the service name. That I'll provide as ATP wallet name underscore hi. Now go down. Then you have to upload the ATP wallet. After uploading the wallet, we have to provide the wallet password. Then you have to put the database username and password as well. Now test the connection. Connection tested successfully. Now save it. Now I'll create a table in the ATP and insert the invoice data into that table. To access the ATP database, I am using Visual Studio Code. Here I have installed the extension SQL Developer. So you can see extensions icon. Here you can search for SQL Developer and install the same. After installing it, you will find the SQL Developer icon just below the extensions. Here you can set up your database connection. So you have to click on this plus icon to set up the new connection. I have already set up this connection with the connection name as admin. I'll edit the connection. Here you can see I have provided all the connection details including the ATP wallet, and the service name is ATP database name underscore hi. Now I'll right click and connect it. Then I'll open a SQL worksheet and create the table xx underscore invoice. In this table we have invoice details like invoice number, invoice amount, invoice date and type. Then we have supplier name, supplier site, business unit, payment terms, and we have the line details as well, which are line number, line type, line amount. And then we have a column ERP invoice ID. Here we'll store the invoice ID that will be generated after the invoice is created in ERP. Then in the status column we'll update the status of each invoice. And if we get the status as error, then we'll also store the error message. Now I'll create this table. So you can see table xx underscore invoice created. Then we'll insert few invoices into the table. Here we are inserting 3 invoices with multiple lines. The invoice IDs are 101, 102 and 103. This is the dummy invoice ID which is unique for each invoice. We'll get the actual invoice ID once the invoice is created in ERP, and that will store in the column ERP invoice ID. And these are all the data. For the last 3 columns, which are ERP invoice ID, status and the error message, we are putting null. Invoice 101 is having 3 lines, 102 is having 2 lines and 103 is having 2 lines as well. Now I'll select this and click on the run statement. You can see all the rows have been inserted successfully. I'll commit changes. I'll query the table to check the data. So you can see all the 3 invoices with 7 lines have been successfully inserted. And here for the first and third invoices, I have provided the valid values, whereas for the second invoices, I have provided invalid supplier name. That means when we'll try to create all these 3 invoices, then 2 invoices will be created successfully, and for 1 invoice we'll get error. So we'll update the status accordingly in the status column and update the error message as well. And the invoices that will be created will update the status as success and the ERP invoice ID. You will find all these scripts in the description for your reference. Now I'll go to OIC and create our integration. I'll click on the create button and choose schedule integration. I'll provide the name as intg033. Now I'll click on create. I'll make it horizontal. First of all, we'll fetch the invoice data from the ATP. For that, I'll click on the plus and choose the ATP connection, which is ATP001. Here I'll provide the name as get invoice header data. As we'll fetch the invoice header first, then within the for each, we'll fetch the lines for each invoice. The operation I'll select as run a SQL statement. Continue. Here I'll provide all the invoice header columns. But if we see the table data, then we can see like for each invoice, we have multiple lines with duplicate header values. For example, the invoice ID 101 is having 3 lines with the same value across all the columns. Only the line values are different. So we have to use the distinct clause in our SQL query to fetch one row for each invoice. So the query will be select distinct then all the invoice header columns from access underscore invoice where status is null. So when the invoice will be processed, then the status column will be updated. So we will not consider the invoice which is already processed. That is why we are putting one condition status is null to fetch the invoice which are not processed yet. I'll copy this and paste it here. I'll validate the SQL query. I can see the status as success. Continue. Finish. After getting the invoice header data with one row for each invoice, I'll create a for each action. So I'll search for each. Here I'll expand get invoice header data. So you can see the get invoice header data output, which is the repeating element. I'll put it under the repeating element. I'll provide the name as f underscore invoice. Now within the for each, we'll fetch the lines data for each invoice one by one. For that, I'll click on the plus and choose the ATP connection. Here I'll provide the name as get invoice line data. Similar to earlier operation, I'll choose run a SQL statement. Continue. Here I'll provide the SQL query of getting the line details by passing the invoice ID in the where condition. So this is the query. Select line number, line type, line amount from xx underscore invoice where invoice ID equal to has p invoice ID. So this p inv ID is the parameter. That is why we mentioned has here. And in this parameter, we'll pass the value in the mapping from the for each element. Now validate this query. It is successfully validated. Continue. Finish. Now I'll go to the map of get invoice line data. Here in the p inv ID, we have to pass the invoice ID. For that, I will expand the for each element and map invoice ID to p inv ID. Now after getting the invoice header and line data, we are ready to call the REST API to create the invoice. To get the REST API endpoint and the request and response payload, I'll search with AP invoice REST API in Oracle ERP. I'll go down and open the first link. Here under the invoices, I'll click on create an invoice. So you can see this is the endpoint of create an invoice. And for the request and response payload, I'll go down. This is an example of request payload. These are the header attributes. And if we go down, then under invoice lines, we can see the line attributes. Now I have created the request payload with the header and line attributes. From invoice number till payment terms, we have the header attributes, and under invoice lines, we have the line attributes. Now you can see invoice lines is an array attribute as we have multiple lines in one invoice. If an invoice is having n number of lines, then these attributes will be repeated n times. Now for the response body, I'll go down and we can see this is the response body. From the response body, I'll take only the invoice ID. In this invoice ID attribute, we'll get the invoice ID that will be generated after the creation of invoice. So you can see for the response payload, I'll use this invoice ID only. Now I'll go to the integration and choose the REST adapter connection, which is REST 001. Here I'll provide the name as create invoice. For the endpoint related resource URI, we have to provide the endpoint. So I'll go to the REST API page and I'll copy this endpoint. and paste it here. The action will be post as we'll create the invoice. I'll check both the checkbox of request and response payload. Continue. Then we have to configure the request payload. For that, I'll click on inline, and this is our request payload. I'll copy this and paste it here. Continue. Continue. Then for the response payload, I'll again click on the inline and provide the invoice ID only. Continue. We have to remove the comma from here. Now continue. Continue. Finish. Now I'll go to the map of create invoice and I'll expand the request wrapper. Here you have to provide the value in all the attributes. So for the header, I'll expand the f underscore invoice, which is the for each element. Now I'll map invoice number, invoice amount, invoice date, invoice type, supplier name to supplier, supplier site, business unit, and payment terms. Then I'll expand the repeating element invoice lines, and from the sources, I'll expand get invoice line data response. First I'll map the repeating element, then I'll map line number, line type, and line amount. Validate. Now as we are creating the invoices within the for each one by one through the REST API, so if we get any error in any invoice creation due to data issue, then the entire process will be stopped and the rest of the invoice will not be created. But we want that if we get any error for any invoice, then we need to catch the error and update the status in the ATP table. And we have to move to the creation of next set of invoices. So for that, we'll use a scope. So here I'll click on plus and search for scope. Now I cut the create invoice action with the map and paste within the scope. Then in the scope, I'll click on the three dot and under the fault handler, I'll click on AP invocation error REST. So basically, if we get any error due to REST API, then it will handle that error. So when we'll get any error due to REST API for any invoices, then it will come to under this fault handler. So here we'll update the status as error for that invoice into the ATP table. So I'll click on plus and select ATP 001. Here I'll provide the name as update error status. From the operation, I'll select run a SQL statement. Continue. Here in the SQL query, we'll update the ATP invoice table with the status as error and error message as the error that we'll get from the REST API. So for that, I have provided this query. Update xx underscore invoice set status equal to error and error message. I'm using a parameter p error message. The value of this parameter I'll provide in the mapping from the fault handler error details. And in the where condition, I'm passing the invoice ID because we have to update the status for that particular invoice. Validate the query. It is showing success. Continue. Finish. Now I'll go to the map of update error status. And for the PINV ID, I'll expand the for each element and map the invoice ID. And for the error message, I'll expand the current fault object. And under that, we can see error details. Here I'll create a target node for P error message and provide the error details here. Save it. Now validate. Now in case of invoice is created, we'll update the status as success and the invoice ID in the ERP invoice ID column of the ATP table. So for that, after the create invoice, I'll select the ATP connection. Here I'll provide the name as update success status. The operation will be run a SQL statement. Continue. And for the SQL query, we are updating the XX invoice table with the status column as success, ERP invoice ID as PERP INV ID. This invoice ID will get from the REST API response. And in the where condition, we'll pass the invoice ID from the for each element. Now validate the query. It is success. Continue. Finish. I'll go to the map of update success status. And for the P invoice ID, I'll expand the for each element and map the invoice ID. For the PERP INV ID, we have to get it from the REST API response, which is create invoice response. Here under the response wrapper, we can see invoice ID. So I'll map this invoice ID to PERP INV ID. Now the last thing is we have to add one primary business identifier that I'll provide as start time. Now save the integration. Now we are ready to activate and run the integration. So I'll activate the integration in the debug mode. Now I'll run the integration. We don't have any parameters. I'll click on the run button. You can see processing completed successfully, and under for each we can see 3 iterations, and we can see error as well. I'll expand this. I'll expand the first iteration and then expand the create invoice. I'll view the message receipt payload. Here we can see this is our request payload. This is how we are sending the data, and it is updating the table as well. Now if we expand the iteration 2, which is error, under the create invoice, we can see this is the error. You must provide a valid value for the supplier attribute. Now I'll go to the ATP and query the table. I'll go right. Here we can see the success is there for the first 3 lines, which is for the first invoice. And this is the invoice ID that is generated. For the second invoice, we can see the error, and the error reason is updated in the error message column. So this is the error. You must provide a valid value for the supplier attribute. Again, we are getting the success for the third invoice, and this is the invoice ID for the third invoice. Now I'll go to the ERP and search the invoices. This is the ERP homepage. I'll click on the navigator and go down. Then under the payables, I'll click on invoices. I'll click on the task and choose manage invoices. Here I'll search with the invoice number. So I'll go to the ATP, and the first invoice that is created is test rest inv1. So I'll copy this and paste it here. I'll search. So you can see this is the invoice. I can view it. So these are the details that we have provided. I'll cancel and click on done. Again go to manage invoices and search the third invoice, which is test rest inv3. We can see this is also created. So thank you so much for watching this video. If you like this video, please hit the like button. Share this video within your circle. If you have any doubt or any suggestion, put that in the comment section, and do subscribe our channel. Also, if you want to connect with me related to any query or any doubt in our videos, then you can join the membership of this channel. Thank you.